My friends always ask me, what am I investing in, given that I talk so much about financials and stocks? And today, that's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down. What are the three individual stocks that I've invested the most amount of money in this year? And why am I doing so? What are my beliefs behind these companies? And why do I see a future for them? The first one that I spent a majority of the year investing in is AMD. And AMD fell down to as low as $88. And I started buying this one when it was $125 a share. And I bought it on the way down and I've bought it on the way up. Currently, AMD is trading at about 175. I'll add a little price right here so we can see how it's moving. And it has been a great return on investment so far. I even traded options on AMD. And the reason I had so much faith in AMD is because AMD has completely overtaken Intel. The two big players used to be Intel and Nvidia, but Intel has really been struggling, and AMD has taken this opportunity to step in to the second place spot behind Nvidia. Not only that, their systems have become a lot more powerful, almost being able to keep up with some NVIDIA systems at way less of a cost. And I see a lot more clients opting to utilize AMD when it comes to their CPUs or their GPUs. And not only that, I think as AI continues to grow, the AMD GPUs are really good for inferencing, and that's one area of AI we're yet to really go into, especially with the adoption of AI computing and the more data centers we're going to see these big companies producing. We're going to need more chips, and not everyone's going to be able to afford NVIDIA because their prices are quite crazy, and fairly enough, their GPUs are amazing. So there's a lot of companies such as Meta who are partnering with AMD to get these big contracts for the data centers, and this is why I'm invested in AMD, and I see this being a long-term position of mine because I truly think there's a lot of growth here left to be on the table, especially with the AI revolution coming through. Number two on my list is Google or Alphabet, depending on how you know it. And this year, this company has had a lot of negative sentiment around it as the use cases of ChatGPT and other AI models have gone up. A lot of people had the idea that Google search will decrease and people are going to shift away from Google search to use these large language models instead when they're researching stuff online, right? However, that has not been the case. Over the past few quarters, Google search has actually been growing at about 12 to 13%, which is double digit growth. And people are forgetting that Google also has their own AI model, Gemini. Nowadays, when you start searching things up on your phone, you will have a little AI overview. And I've found myself using this AI overview a lot. I have ChatGPT on my phone, but I almost never use it as the AI overview on Google seems to be doing amazing for me. Not only that, but Google also has their cloud services, which are also growing over double digit rates per year. And the Google Cloud service is like one thing that's going to keep growing as there's more and more customers who are going to get adopted through it into the ecosystem. Not to mention, YouTube is a huge proportion of Google that is like growing incredibly fast, and it's not going to stop. As AI becomes more of a thing, that's going to be incorporated in the content that's produced out there. And the biggest creators in the world are currently YouTubers. Like think about Mr. Beast. He's has like over 400 million subscribers. His videos get billions of views, and there's just so much more to go with Google. That's not even talking about their one-off bets. Like think about Waymo. Waymo is currently whooping Tesla in the autonomous vehicle race. Where I live in Austin, I am still yet to see a robo taxi, but I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of Waymos driving through the streets autonomously with no one in the passenger seat. And I was taking advantage of this negative sentiment towards Google when it traded down to as low as I think 140 a share. I started picking up shares and I still keep picking up shares. And this is another position that I have a long-term option play on. I have a leap, which basically says that I believe this company is going to increase in value over time. And I have a leverage position, which will benefit if I'm correct with my thesis, which I think I will be, as Google's in a great spot to incorporate AI features, and they're an innovative company who's investing a lot of their capital into more AI investments. Right now, if you look at Google, they're increasing the amount of capex, their capital expenditure, which they're putting into these new investments, such as Waymo AI and incorporating AI into their already amazing product set. And I think going forward, nothing's going to change. I don't really see ChatGPT or any other large language model taking away from Google's search market share because they just have such a strong search engine that everyone's so used to using, I don't see any way that's gonna change things. And that doesn't even play into account the growth that Waymo can experience over the next 5 to 10 years, especially when incorporating AI. So yeah, as mentioned, I'll include the price of Google up here as well. And this is one that I am still buying more of every single day. I have it in my daily buy in my Weibo account. I buy about $5 a day of this, and then sometimes I'll buy a share or two for my Roth IRA. Third, but not least, and my most recent position that I've been investing a lot of my capital to is Amazon. Recently, Amazon reported earnings. I believe it was last Thursday, and it dropped 10% roughly, which is crazy to think about because the reason they dropped is that Amazon Web Services didn't grow as fast as Google Cloud Services or the Microsoft Azure services. But when you add the Google and Azure services, Azure is Microsoft service, they're roughly like add those two together, they're roughly the size of Amazon Web Services. So even if Amazon Web Services isn't growing as fast, they are still by far the biggest web services in the world currently. And that doesn't even account for their e-commerce platform. Everyone orders so much stuff on there. And there's so much that goes into web services that you can look into. They also even have their streaming service. Amazon is so diverse, and they're invested in these small AI companies. They have those one-shot bets similar to Google and Waymo that could pay off to 5, 10x in the future from their initial investment, right? And just going forward, I believe Amazon is in the best situation for AI. They can reduce their labor cost by such a great margin by incorporating AI and robotics into it. Like think of their whole warehouse facilities. If you can have robots going around organizing everything and getting these packages, loading them up into these automated self-driving vans which go on their route through your neighborhood, have a quick little robot that drops out with your package, it drops off, delivers your package at your door and then gets back in and moves on, they can potentially eliminate the need for warehouse workers essentially, other than IT specialists or the computer specialists who can manage the robots, and they can completely eliminate the need for drivers. This will significantly increase their margins and reduce the amount of labor costs that they're going to be incurring. Not to mention, this doesn't even take into account incorporating AI into their web services. This is going to be a game changer, and we've already seen these massive companies increase their profitability by incorporating AI, by taking away the repetitive tasks that everyone needs to do on a daily basis and delegating that to AI. They've been able to free their employees to handle those heavier workload creative tasks that produce more results and earn the company more money. So I truly believe Amazon is one of the best, if not the best positioned company in the world. And I think Amazon can easily be the largest company 5 to 10 years from now with the incorporation of AI. And even if it doesn't do so, even if it just grows at a measly 10% per year, I will be perfectly satisfied with this because Amazon's a great company. It's another company. Again, I have another Leap option on Amazon because I truly believe that their pullback of 10% based on their recent earnings is not justifiable at all. And Amazon's a great position to buy into right now. I today was my buy was Amazon. I bought Amazon for my 401k. Sorry, for my Roth IRA. And finally, I am by no means a financial expert. I'm just a recent college grad who has taken an interest into finances and stocks, and this is what I'm doing with my money. I'm not saying that this is what you should do with your money. This is what I'm putting my money in, and I'm explaining to you why. I'm not trying to influence you by no means. This is just what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. With that being said, let me know if there's any stocks that you're watching down below, or if there's any stock that I should look into, or if there's any other videos you guys want to see on this channel. Besides that, thanks very much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Take care.